Welcome to another Motivational Monday with Aldila. And today we are going to talk about a topic that is very, very hot. And I'm going to read it from my screen so that I don't get it wrong. Interfering in other people's lives without their permission is not an act of love. It is manipulation and disrespect. That's a very interesting point of view that I've brought up here. And in my book, When the Fairy Tale Shatters, chapter 6, I talk a lot about the lineage, the bloodline, and our genetic coding. The chapter's name is My Body, My Beliefs, and Body Wellness, but it actually goes so much deeper as it clearly discusses the impact of the bloodline and the genetics. Now, in a lot of families, especially in my culture, which is the Afrikaner culture, we are very close-knit and part of each other's lives continuously. And your mother and your aunts and your uncles and your grannies and your great-grannies and your sisters and your cousins, everybody forms a big integral part of each other's lives. And it can be such a beautiful gift. I don't think there's a more beautiful gift than the support structure and the support system of a family and of a family unit. But just like everything has night and day, hot and cold, bitter and sweet, so does all light sides in life have shadow sides. And there's a line, a very fine line in life that we should be very aware to not cross. And one of the things I'm going to talk to today is this belief system in my culture of our parents and grandparents that have an obsession in saying to us, we don't want you to make mistakes. We want you to learn through our mistakes. We want you to listen when we talk. And I do believe it's a very important thing to do for the first 18, 19, 20, 21 years of our life. I don't know what you call it in English. Maybe the person behind the camera will tell me. But in Afrikaans we call it mondag. Is it when you are coming of age, when you can sign your own contract? So in Afrikaans we used to say when you turned 21, you were mondag. Apparently that age has now gone down to 18. So I am very old-fashioned to a certain extent, and I believe that 21 is a good age for parents, grandparents, and other people in families to take their hands off and to say, okay, we have loved you, we've protected you, we've equipped you, we've raised you, we've given you an upbringing, we have been examples for you. Now it's time to go. Free my little bird. There's an Afrikaans saying where they say, 'n mens moet vir jou kinders ankers gee en roots gee, maar jy moet ook vir hulle vlerke gee sodat hulle die lewe kan ingaan op die regte tyd. Now, families and especially parents and their children, if you are not in awareness with your children and you do not tell yourself from a young age, when your kids are young, that they are going to grow up into human beings, adults, if you are not constantly rewiring your brain, and as they grow up every year and go into new phases of their lives, if you are not constantly being in awareness, the time will come where this is you and this is your child. And as you, the mother or father, grow with the child, you are the strong one and the child submits to you. But as the child grows up and becomes an adult, the relationships should change. And your child is not your child anymore. Your child becomes an adult. And if you raised that child in awareness, and you parented with awareness, and you gave your best, and you did your very best, and you healed yourself and worked on yourself, why do you still then want to control your children when they are 21 plus as adults? My granny, who's now not with us anymore on the planet, she was one of my favorite people. And she was a stern old lady, a real Margaret Thatcher. And she used to tell me when my uncle and her would argue, he would be 50 or 40 and she would be 70 or 80. And then she would say to him, listen, this and this and this, and I don't want you to make a mistake. And he would look at her, and I'm going to use the Afrikaans phrase that he used to say to her. He used to look at her and say, nou ma, twyfel maar nou in ma se opvoeding wat ma vir my gegee het, dat ek nou 'n preek moet kry as 'n man van 41. So there's a big difference in when you go to your parents in a mentorship role, or when you go to a family member and say, give me your opinion. I would like to bounce back. I'd like to talk about my feelings, or I'd like to hear your point of view or your approach. When we invite someone, or we are invited into someone's sacred space of their own life and free will, and they are then giving us permission to give an opinion or a point of view or to say something, it is a great privilege, and that is a strong relationship that will allow that. But people who believe that they have the right to interfere in their children or their grandchildren or their family or their spouses or their friends or other people's lives without permission is actually being very disrespectful. There's a big difference when someone invites you and asks your opinion, and then that person still has the right to not listen to you, to not do what you tell them to do. Giving your point of view to someone still doesn't mean that that person that you've given your point of view to has to listen to you. It is an honor and a privilege when someone that is of age, of an adult age or nature, goes to you in confidence or in a mentorship role and speaks to you about things in their life. If you can be wise enough to hear them out, to listen to them, to let them process as they speak to you, and to give advice from a place of wisdom and a place of love, not from a place of control, that will be a blessed relationship. But a lot of times, conflict in families and friendships and relationships occur because people have a need to control. And what is under control? Control is the blanket of fear. So because I live in fear and I don't want my children to get hurt or my grandchildren to get hurt, and you know what, a lot of things are based in good intent, good intentions. It's a good intention that you must listen to me, and I don't want you to get hurt, and I don't want you to make the same mistakes. It's beautiful. It doesn't come out of a place of hatred or anxiety, or where I want to control you because you must listen to me. The thing is, first of all, if you are telling another adult person what to do, why are you blatantly disrespecting them if they didn't invite you or ask for your opinion? It's about control, it's about manipulation, and it's because we haven't gone within ourselves to allow other people the freedom of their own choice and the freedom of their own awareness. So I invite everyone to read chapter 6. It's very powerful, and it speaks about how we take our beliefs in our families and how we take our belief systems, and if someone else is not agreeing with my belief system and someone else believes different than me, I want to fight and I want to prove the other person wrong and right. So we're going to chat about that even more. The main thing for me is that I want to get across is when you are 21 and older, you are an adult. you have come of age. And parents and grandparents and aunts and uncles and teachers and friends and everyone has had their turn in giving and upbringing. That person that is now embarking on adult life has to be allowed to have free will, their own awareness, and their own power of choice. And unless you are invited to give an opinion or to come and have a say or a point of view, it's not an act of love. It's control and manipulation. And the opposite of love is fear. And fear is not a safe space to grow a relationship that you want to have with someone that has substance, endearment, and